Hey everybody, it's Matt from endsickness.org. Today we're going to be talking about the low histamine diet. I'm going to do a crash course on the low histamine diet for you. So what is histamine and why is it so important? Okay, histamine is what's called a biogenic amine. It is in various foods. It's produced within the body. It's a very important molecule. It's actually a neurotransmitter responsible for wakefulness, and it's the key neurotransmitter for fight or flight. So histamine is produced within the body. It is also in foods that you eat. So it is something that people don't give enough weight to in terms of its effect on your health. So why is it so important? Well, histamine is the #1 inflammatory molecule in your body. Okay, it is secreted by mast cells. If it gets elevated, you can have allergy-like symptoms, inflammatory symptoms. Very important because it's also a key signaling molecule for genes. It affects transcription factors, gene upregulation, downregulation. So it can affect various parts of your body if it's out of whack. So that's why histamine is so important. Okay. So we're going to talk about the primary triggers in your diet. Okay. What people don't realize who have histamine issues is that a lot of the foods that they're eating contain histamine, right? And if you have elevated histamine in your blood already, then your body could respond to histamine in foods like it's reacting to it, okay? These could be foods like figs, dried figs, prunes, it could be avocados, it could be things that you thought were healthy that in fact are not, right? So primary triggers in the diet for someone who has histamine intolerance are most of the time are histamine-containing foods, but it's also very important to understand that mast cell reactions are more likely to cause you elevated histamine than histamine in foods. What I mean by that is you want to identify the hidden irritants in your diet that are causing you symptoms. If you do not, they could be low histamine and still cause you symptoms, still cause you reactions. The low histamine diet is not the end-all in terms of removing all your food sensitivities. So primary triggers in the diet, people usually just go straight to the low histamine diet and go, oh, okay, let's just follow this, and then they eat the same foods every day. They don't rotate their foods. They start getting reactions to things that are low histamine, wondering why. At one point in time, I had 6 different foods I could eat. That's it, only 6 different foods. I'd lost 80 pounds, had my ribs showing, rashes all over, etc. So trust me, I know a little bit about food sensitivities and how to get out of them because I can eat anything I want today. So primary triggers in the diet for people who have histamine intolerance are usually things that contain histamine or they're high ingredient foods. This could be gluten-free breads. It could be anything that has multiple ingredients in it. Okay, the more ingredients, the higher probability one of those things is going to set you off. So as I'll talk a little bit later, the ideal situation is to go to a low ingredient diet that is primarily plant-based that will allow you to identify which foods are working with you and which ones are not working with you, okay? So what are the most common histamine triggers, okay? #1, foods in packages, okay? Foods that contain multiple ingredients. You look at some of these gluten-free breads, some of these products have 15, 20 ingredients in them. That is a definite no-no for people who have histamine intolerance or histamine issues. You do not want multi-ingredient foods, okay? You also do not want processed foods, stuff that has processed sugar, preservatives, etc., okay? Another one that's even more common I've seen in people that nearly everybody's dealing with is meat. Meat causes problems for people who have histamine issues. Why is that? Because when the meat is cut, in most cases it sits out over the course of transport, and over that time air makes histamine form. Bacteria on the meat form histamine, and you have this high histamine food. Also, meat is the hardest to break down for people. People who typically have histamine issues have low stomach acid, and then they put animal products or meat on top of it, and they wonder why they're reacting to everything else. I've seen people remove meat, and their histamine intolerance gets much better just from removing meat. One of them being myself, another one being my daughter, all right? When you have meat for a few days straight, I've seen it start to cause some of these histamine reactions that were gone for months, years beforehand. So most common histamine trigger, I'd say, really is meat, okay? Other than that, the packaged foods, the ones that have high ingredients, the things that are not on the low histamine list, but more than anything, the histamine triggers are going to be the foods that you eat over and over and over and over again. That's why you want to eat on a rotation-based diet. Minimum every 2 days, ideal eating one food every 3 days, okay? So the best foods for low histamine diet. We got the fruits, the vegetables, the starches, okay? And debatable about the animal protein, right? I personally feel that the vegetables are the safest. Other than garlic and onions, those are probably not exactly the best fit. Dried herbs, not exactly the best fit. Fruits, apples, pears, even though people say bananas don't work with them, depends on the person. Apples, pears, bananas, cherries, berries, as long as they're not acidic. Any fruit that has acidity to it is probably going to make things worse, okay? Vegetable-wise, as I said, everything vegetable-wise is typically a good fit. Only thing I've seen is like garlic, onions, maybe squash, okay? Sometimes people don't do well with that. And then starches, okay? You know, all the various starches. You got rice, sweet potatoes, the couscous, millet, etc. But the key with these things, once again, is rotating the foods. You don't want to eat the same thing every single day. If you do, it's got to be something like rice, something that's extreme low allergy potential, okay? So best foods for low histamine diet. Another one for protein. Beans are better, in my opinion, than meat, okay? I don't do beans all the time, but it's helpful. You don't need as much protein as you think when you have histamine intolerance. In most cases, what you're trying to do is stop the backup of all the toxins and the stuff in your stomach. So meat is not going to be helpful, and protein in meat is the hardest thing on your liver. And as you know, the liver has something to do with these histamine intolerance symptoms because you're backed up with toxins, and it'll cause your immune system to be overactive, and so on, right? So my experiences with the low histamine diet. Low histamine diet was very helpful for me for a period of time. I hit a plateau with it, as I'll explain, but the low histamine diet was critical. I didn't realize until I came across this information that all the foods I was eating, literally almost all the foods I were eating, were on the high histamine page. I'm talking about, avocados, eggs, nuts. The list goes on. Various types of fruits. Even all the foods I looked at that I thought were healthy, most of them were high histamine foods. And I realized I was addicted to these foods. They were producing a short-term energy boost and then a fog and an increase in symptoms later on. So my experience with the low histamine diet, it was critical to help identify the problem foods because I was eating nothing but high histamine foods. I didn't even realize it, and I did not understand why that was contributing to my symptoms, okay? So low histamine diet was critical to be able to get out of the corner, absolutely. But until I implemented the observation-based diet where I paid attention to everything on the dietary log and how all of it was reacting with me, there was some limitation to low histamine diet. If you're not rotating your food, if you're eating the same thing over and over again, if you're not paying attention to each individual meal and how it's affecting your symptoms, then you're going to hit a plateau with the low histamine diet. That's the most important part to realize. So my experiences, great experiences. I've seen a lot of relief in clients. I've seen a lot of progress. But unless you do a rotation-based diet and you do an observation-based diet where you do a dietary log on one side, you write down what you ate, a line down the middle, on the right side, how you felt afterwards. Unless you do that, you're going to run into some degree of a plateau with your food, right? Low histamine diet is essential to healing, okay? If you're not following the low histamine diet, you're trying to get over an autoimmune disease, good luck, okay? Autoimmune disease is driven by mast cells, overactivity of mast cells, and elevated histamine in the blood makes mast cells populate at a faster rate, and it makes them secrete more histamine. So you have to reduce the blood histamine to be able to reduce the reactivity in the body, okay? And reducing blood histamine, the easiest way to do that is removing the foods that contain histamine and then removing the foods that are triggers that cause mast cells to release histamine, okay? So low histamine diet was essential to healing. You have autoimmune disease, you have a chronic health condition, stomach problem, doesn't matter if it's autoimmune or not. Histamine is the main driving factor of inflammation in the body, and inflammation is what leads to symptoms. So low histamine diet, you must consider this if you're dealing with a chronic health condition. Otherwise, you're shooting yourself in the foot. To summarize, low histamine diet is a diet where you eat the least amount of histamine in your diet. Histamine is not bad though, okay? It's not a dirty word. It should not be considered the cause of all the health issues. Histamine is an inflammatory molecule, okay? okay? You need it to survive. You need to have various functions in the body. It is helpful for your alertness in your brain. So you don't want to necessarily demonize histamine. In my opinion, you want to go to an observation-based diet, go on a low histamine diet initially, then go to an observation-based diet with a dietary log where you're monitoring how you're responding to each specific meal, your supplements, all the other things. And you got to pay attention to what is making things worse, okay? And you also got to make sure you're not taking supplements that aren't mast cell modulators or supplements that are synthetic, because these things will make everything worse, as I'll explain in other videos. So, you know, key points is you want to stay away from meat, in my opinion, or reduce meat down to 1 time per day max. You want to eat foods that are low ingredient. You want to eat primarily vegetables, starches, some fruits, okay? But you have to observe how these foods are reacting with you and how they're contributing to symptoms or not. Otherwise, you're going to be halted in your progress, okay? So I hope that helps. Low histamine diet. If you want to know exactly what foods are on the low histamine diet, go to my website, endsickness.org. It'll go over all the different foods. My favorite ones are the cruciferous group, the broccoli, the cauliflower, the Brussels sprouts, the cucumbers, the chard, the kale, you know, the sweet potatoes, the regular potatoes, the apples, the pears, the various types of starches, the rice, the millet, the different types of sweet potatoes. I even throw avocados in there, kiwi, every once in a while some Brazil nuts here and there. That's kind of where I stay most of the time with the diet. Maybe a little flaxseed as well. And that has been very, very helpful for me and my daughter, who had the worst case of mast cell. She was reacting so bad she had seizures. We had to remove her from multiple multiple places that we were living, and even remove her from school because she was having neurological reactions to stuff in the environment. So she was about as high histamine as you could possibly imagine. After one of her seizures, she got tested. Her plasma histamine was 16 times the reference range. Okay, so about as high histamine of a case as you've ever seen. This girl would eat little bits of food that have histamine in it, or foods, and her whole face would blush up, right? So this is very real. Low histamine diet is very helpful, but you must also identify the irritants, otherwise you'll be halted in your progress. If you have questions about this or comments, please leave them. And also feel free to visit my website again, endsickness.org. And don't forget, this information is for educational purposes only. This is not to be used or substitute for medical advice. Key points. So thank you for listening, and hope to hear from you guys, and see you soon.